Hey lovelies, you're welcome back to reviews and recaps. So Sunny is giving us some behind the scenes tea of the Love and Marriage reunion. She was talking about Destiny and some of the things that they did not show about Destiny. She also talked a bit about Kimmi as well. She talked about other things as well, which I'm going to get into it. So make sure you watch until the end. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on all your notifications so you know every single time that I post. Let's get into it. Sunny was on her YouTube live. She was doing her makeup and people were asking questions. So of course some people wanted to know, where is Moses? When is he going to be back? And what's going on and why exactly is he in jail? Now, of course, she talks about how things have been hard, but Moses is okay, and that he's doing fed time for federal probation violation because he left the jurisdiction and got a new employer without telling them. It's one of those things where I'm like, I feel bad for them, but it's just like, why not just inform? You know what the terms of your probation is. I feel like this whole thing could have been avoided if more care was taken. But I do feel sorry for all of them, and I hope that Moses comes back home soon. Now, let's talk a little bit about what she had to say about Marquez. She explained that Marquez called her and confided in her about the whole situation. She said that she feels like Marquez is a great person, has a good spirit, and it doesn't mean any harm with the things that he does. And she feels sorry for him. To be honest, I feel like that. I've always felt sorry for Marquez at different points. Now, of course, like I said, he did crash out and it is a learning point for him, something that he needs to make sure never happens again. I understand that there could have been the altercation that really pushed him over the edge, completely get that. But I still think that he has a lot to work on when it comes to being able to manage his emotions. I don't think that's going to change, but it's interesting to hear Sunny say some of the things that we've talked about, and essentially say that she feels sorry for him, really. She did say that OWN had a strict no fighting policy, but at this point, it just sounds like they don't stick to their policy. It is what it is. It's just like, if we want these people, then whether or not they fight means nothing. Like, think about it. They really wanted Martell, and despite all the things that Martell did to Melody, they did not remove him off the show. So I guess it's one of those things where they have a policy, but in the way in which whether or not they choose to apply the policy depends on who it is. If they favor the person, then the policy does not apply to them. I don't think that would shock anyone listening today, because that OWN has a no fighting policy but still chose to make their own considerations. Are we surprised? Let me know in the comment section below. Are you surprised that OWN has a strict no fighting policy but still chose to make a consideration for the whole Marquez and Ken and the whole drama there? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, what I do think is quite interesting is, do you guys remember at the reunion, Destiny wore this red dress? And we were thinking, what's going on with the red dress? Is it that Destiny and Sunny had a different color? Is it that they were told a different color? Like, what is going on? It was just very interesting, the fact that we just saw them wear something completely different from everyone else. So it was a bit odd. And you know how we were thinking about, like, why would Destiny keep saying she had a wardrobe malfunction? Do we believe her? I remember, I think I was listening to Queen Sheba at the time, and she was talking about maybe she went to like a showroom, if I'm not mistaken, went to a showroom last minute to try to pick a dress. Now, we don't know what it is, but it's interesting that Sunny is clearing it up. Apparently, she wanted to wear red. She wanted to wear red because it's her husband's color. That's what she wanted to wear. And apparently, she kept getting asked if she was still wearing red and they wanted confirmation. Now, I'm thinking, why would they want confirmation that she's still wearing red? It's given they want them to look like sister wives. So let them both show up in red and then everyone else shows up in regular outfits. That is so weird to me. The fact that Sunni allegedly picked up a particular color and then there was a whole setup to end up having Destiny allegedly wearing the same color is wild to me. I wish that these people would stop focusing on setting things up and let things happen naturally, because if people were doing things naturally, it may actually end up being all right. It may end up being interesting enough. But maybe production doesn't feel like the cast are interesting enough, and so they have to allegedly set things up. The other thing is she was saying what we all know, that people were going hard at Melody. I think we all saw it. They were going hard at Melody. They wanted to break Melody. In my opinion, this is what it felt like outside looking in. It's like when people see the head be in charge and everyone feels like, oh, we have to come for this person if we want to earn our spot. That is what it is given. And to be honest, it's not surprising because every reunion, it feels like that is what happens. But I think this reunion was probably the worst because they had Destiny over there doing the dirty work. The bit that cracks me up is allegedly Carlos was shocked after Melody quit. I'm like, what is shocking you? Do you think that anybody who doesn't have to be on this platform will continue to show up and be attacked? Of course, they're not going to continue to show up and be attacked. Of course, they're not going to want to be on the same platform with someone who constantly attacks them, who threatened revenge P. Like, let's be honest, who would do that? At some point, everyone has a threshold. At some point, people are just going to be like, I can't do this anymore. This is too much for me. I'm over it. I don't have to deal with this. And I feel like Melody got to that point, and who can absolutely blame her? Sunni talked about the whole grooming allegations, which she thought was crazy, because if supposedly the person you call your brother and friend is allegedly grooming you, yes, you're always hanging around him, you're always kicking with him. This is also part of the things that I said at the time. It's like, how can you be around somebody that you're saying is grooming you? And he's over there smiling because he's just so happy that you're coming for Melody. It's crazy to me. Sunni said she is easy, she is loose. I'm like, okay. And if anyone would want a threesome, it would be her. I'm like, okay. And of course, she said what we all think, that the whole grooming comment is unwarranted. How can you go that far and have no evidence to back it up? It's disgusting. It's like when somebody just decides to throw lies and figure out and be like, oh, let's see what sticks. Like, that is disgusting, diabolical behavior. And she talked about when she posted the Maury picture, and it was made to seem like she was coming after her son, but she can throw those allegations knowing fully well that the children are going to see it. It's disrespectful. Now, here's the thing, Sunni. I agree with you. But I wish that you had stood on business and you were asked about the whole Maury allegations. That is all I'm going to say. I wish you had stood on business and said, and what? Okay? But I also understand that you may have felt you still want to be on good terms with production, so maybe that's what it was. Now, the bit that even surprised me the most is that allegedly the attack on Melody was worse than we saw. Apparently, they cut out a lot of different clips from it. Destiny had lied that Sunni and Mel plotted against her. I feel like Destiny has a sense of grandiose. It's almost like you feel like everyone is out here to get you. Nobody cares about you. Nobody is that bothered but you. You're the one that is showing that you are obsessed. Nobody is showing that. Only you. Apparently, Melody and Destiny went back and forth about that. There was the word bees being thrown out there. There was, you ain't gonna beat my ass. It was apparently really nasty. But here's the thing. Why didn't they show that? But they had the audacity to air the grooming comment. Why didn't they show that? That is what we would have loved to see, because Destiny was exposed for her lies. And here's the thing that I feel like OWN does sometimes. Because let's be clear. If you were trying to root for your leading lady, Melody, wouldn't you have shown that to show us that Destiny went to get receipts that did not exist, allegedly? Because according to Sunny, both Destiny and Mel left the stage to get their phones. Destiny said she had proof, she's gonna bring the receipts. She went to get her phone and then came back with no receipts. It's like, what do you mean you ain't got no receipts? After being up here, doing a whole drama, saying you're gonna go bring your phone and then there's no receipts. Why didn't you guys show that? We could have needed to see that. But because you guys wanted to place Destiny so that when Destiny comes back the next season, you guys can place her as one of the leading ladies. That is what I feel like was done, and it was done intentionally, in my opinion. Because why else are you not going to show that? Why else don't we need to see that somebody promised to bring receipts and did not bring receipts? That is some good TV. You mean you hopped, you got up, you got off the stage, went to get your phone, and you couldn't show us any receipts? Like, seriously, guys. The least you could have done is put that clip. Let's see it for ourselves. Yet, you sat in front of Destiny and could not ask her why she was speaking to Melody with tears in her eyes. I love you. That is nasty work. She couldn't bring the proof because the proof does not exist. It is just another lie that she has concocted. And it's like, at what point do people call her out on her lies? It's like lie after lie after lie. Yet you say, oh, people call me a liar. Girl, the reason they call you a liar because you say you have receipts and you don't bring receipts. How about you just show us the receipts, shut it down so that we don't call you a liar again? Last I checked, if you promised you had receipts but can't provide receipts, what is that? A lie. Now, she talks a little bit about the show. She doesn't think it's going to be exciting anymore. Completely agree with her. Apparently, they're trying to bring Wanda back to like spice things up. She talks about how she thinks Wanda is funny. Well, it depends on who you're asking. Personally, I don't really find her funny. There's nothing I find entertaining about Wanda, but that is just me, right? Like, some of y'all may not even think I'm entertaining, and that is okay. No offense taken. What I will say is the new season is going to be a flop. That's just my perspective, but I will watch it so I can make sure it's a flop. And I will come here and talk about how much of a flop it is, okay? Okay, one last thing before we end today's video is she talks a little bit more about the whole Kimmi going off on Mel. Apparently, she was shocked that Mel was getting all the smoke from Kimmi. She asked Kimmi, how, did you speak to Mel about how you felt? And Kimmi said no. And this is the thing. It's like when somebody chooses not to do that, she knew exactly what she wanted to do. She wanted to come, bring the smoke to the reunion. I think Marie's probably put a battery in her back and she's like, yeah, I'ma come and tear her a new one. Anything, it just looked misplaced. Everyone was wondering why Kimmi was just going off on Mel when all she did was bring the information that was in the public. That is all she did. If anything, they need to be giving her thumbs up for producing that season, because without her, I don't know what it would have been. So anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Make sure you share this video and let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.